of course it. Hmm?
Hey everyone, my name is Jessica. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. So today's video, clearly I'm doing something a bit different from what I normally do. This is my very first voiceover, first of all, so please bear with me. I'm trying. But you guys have seen from some of my videos that I recently became more serious into bullet journaling. So I've been practicing my calligraphy and my handwriting, so I figured why not have a calligraphy / practice my handwriting with me video. I've been watching a lot of videos and tutorials on how you should hold your pens and the pressures to make it pretty like that. So right now I'm using a Tombow brush pen, and I'm using my G2 black pen to actually do arrows, because from what I've seen from videos, the when you go up, that the letter is going to be more thin, and as you go down you're going to press harder on the marker / whatever you're using to make it more thicker, to give it that really pretty look that we see on a bunch of bullet journal videos. So if you look next to the page that I'm writing on, you'll see that I already have a guide. So I'm basically copying what they're telling me to do. It's not perfect, but that's what I'm practicing for. One thing that I've really noticed as I've practiced is that the Tombow markers actually, while they have the prettiest effect when you do it properly, I guess, is that they're actually kind of hard and to use basically. I've seen tutorials say that they're the ones that, while they give some of the prettiest effect, they do show all of your flaws, which I have to agree. But one thing I've really noticed that has also helped me is as you go down, you kind of press it hard, obviously, and then you go a little bit slower, so that'll really help give it the thickness that you want. And honestly, I've been also really loving this blue. This is my favorite Tombow marker by far that I own, so that's a little thing to notice. But I've used other brush markers as well, and they give pretty effects if you know how to do it, if you practice more and more, I should say. But the Tombow markers are definitely one of my favorites so far. one quick tip that I do want to say, and that's something that I really do need to keep in mind, is that when you go down and you're pressing down, the way to make it like a super straight line is to move your entire arm rather than just your hand. Again, it's something that I really do need to practice more and more, because I'm so used to just writing with my arm and using my wrist as my movements, but to get like the really straight lines, you do have to move your entire arm down. I'm sure you guys realized this earlier, but I just realized that I forgot the V and the W, so I just ended up going to the next page and adding those. You know, mistakes happen, they're going to happen, but I still needed some space, so I knew I was going to need a second page anyway. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to go with it. But as long as you fix it and as long as you keep on practicing, that's all that really matters. So now I'm switching over to doing like basic lettering with like little to no flourishes, because sometimes you just need like plain kind of blockish lettering, and that's something that I still need to practice anyway. It's pretty similar to what we did earlier, not gonna lie, but this is just no fuss, no muss kind of lettering, and it's some that, you know, if I just want a basic page, like I said earlier, I'm just repeating myself. This is a good thing to practice anyway. Missing someone, is as normal, missing someone. So for this part, I am again using a Tombow brush pen, but this is in like a magenta-y color. I just really love the Tombow brush pens. I really want to be able to write really well with these, so I don't know, and they also just give a super clean effect. I am a very big fan of these pens. Although I will say, if you are beginning, don't make the mistake I did. Practice a little more with like cheaper markers, because they'll give you the same effect. This is just if you've gotten more practice and you're a bit more steady with your markers. I would recommend using these, or do what I did. You know, I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money. This is just kind of my recommendation. You see that originally I was going to use that one example, but in the end I decided to look at my calligraphy book that I got from Five Below, and you see that I was planning on choosing this like kind of basic one as well. but I decided to switch over because that one is similar to what we've done like the past 2 pages anyway. So I wanted to do one with a more flourishy type of writing, and I decided to use my G2 black pen. That is like one of my top favorite pens to use while doing calligraphy. And I just instead of like holding the pen down harder, I just filled it in and colored it in to give it that thicker effect. And I really love how these ones turned out. These pens, again, I cannot rave about them enough. They are absolutely amazing, and you can get them anywhere.
One, two, three, funk it.
One thing I do want to say about these pens is the more you use them, the duller the point it gets, which I actually really love that, especially for like the calligraphy for this type of stuff. It just makes it so much more like thicker, and it helps the lines. You'll see that I actually ran out of ink for this pen that I'm using, so I had to switch over, which I'm really glad I had. Recently bought a bunch of the G2 pens, and yes, this makes it take like way more time, but I just love how these pens look at the end of these. It's just one of my favorite things to look at when I do my bullet journals.
has a straight edge on it, so it's very easy. And maybe in our world here, there lives a happy little mountain. Has a straight edge on it, so it's very easy. And maybe in our world here, there lives a happy little mountain.
So that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I do plan on doing more videos, like with practicing my calligraphy / handwriting. Next time I think I'm going to try to use like the fat tip Crayola markers, because I've seen some people say that you can get the same effect with those markers as you do with like the Tombow brush ones. You just kind of, again, have to practice. And then I might get like the slimmer marker Crayola ones, because those ones look amazing. And then I also recently got these watercolor brush markers / pens. So, you know, eventually I do want to do watercolors, because doing these kinds of videos like for bullet journaling and then practicing my lettering has honestly been really helpful to my anxiety, and it's also one of my goals to practice my calligraphy and handwriting and do more bullet journaling in 2020. So these will just be really good reasons for me to relax and to put more content out, because I really love doing these types of videos. So thank you again. Also, this is again my very first time doing a voiceover, and they're actually kind of difficult. I say a lot, as you guys can see, so this was a good practice for me to also try to get words out without stuttering or without struggling and saying constantly. So I hope you enjoy this video. Again, if you have any videos similar to these ones, you know, comment, share them with me, please. I'm always on the lookout for more tips and tricks on how to improve my handwriting. Also, because like since leaving school, I really have no reason to write with pens or pencils or anything like that. So this is just helping me get my handwriting back. And again, so I hope you guys enjoy this video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.